Buddy, it's a dog with you on a Monday, the 19th of November, 2018. Welcome to Weber This Week. You know, Del Lago's going to be 2 years old, February the 1st. What's that, 3 months away? It's kind of scary. Good friend of mine is in the house. We had him on several months ago, Jason Klug, the Director of Entertainment. We're going to talk shows, baby, what's coming up, a lot of exciting news. Stay with us. Well, a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. It's a chilly Monday, but not bad. Almost near 40, I think. It's not a bad day. Hey, Thanksgiving, they're going to be like low 20s, but no snow. They're saying it's going to be chilly, but it's going to be nice. You know, folks, we're blessed to have a lot of good of my colleagues at Del Lago come in and appear on this show. Jason Klug is my guest today. Good friend of mine who I met when we first started working together way back when the casino got opened. Going to be 2 years old, February the 1st. Can you believe it, Jason? Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. You know, Jason and myself used to work pretty close when I was handling the buses with Jimmy Wilmot way back when. And first off, we want to get to that. Before we get to the shows, Jason's going to run down because he probably has memorized what's coming up at Del Lago. Your family situation, let's not forget about that. You had a magnificent event take place a while back, and you have a bouncing baby boy who you share pictures with us, and he seems like a cute young man. Yeah. And lo and behold, you wife delivered twins.
Yes, yeah, we were blessed to have twin boys.
That's amazing. And their names are?
Alec and Mason.
Nice. So I'm sure that has changed the Klug household. Somewhat.
Yeah, it's kind of an instant large family.
I was going to say. So how's the wife hanging in? Good?
She's doing very well.
Oh, that's great. Well, congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah, she's the VIP of the family.
I was going to say congratulations to your wife if she's checking out the show, because I tell you what, it's got to be quite amazing to deal with and your son is how old? Other than the twins, the young son is.
He's going to be starting kindergarten soon.
God, kindergarten. Wow. What's he think of the twins, by the way?
Oh,
he thinks it's great.
Yeah, he's
big brother.
He's great with him. Yep,
absolutely. That's awesome. All right, Jason. Jason's here to talk about what's happening. You know, as you all know, the Vine Showroom has been spectacular. Jason and his team have set up a great setup of entertainment, different types for different ages, et cetera, et cetera. So, Jason, your opinion on how it's gone since you started? I know we're talking almost 2 years now. Things have really improved. You told me before I went on air, it's like a well-oiled machine your team has. Talk about your reaction thus far of how it's gone so far. Is it to your level of what you thought it would be?
Yeah, I think we've gotten to the place that we always knew we could, and now I believe the challenge for us is to push ourselves even more. Mm-hmm. So I take a very artist-centric approach to when we have shows, because if you take care of the artist, my belief is that they're going to take care of the audience members, and that's just very important to me. So when you're building a department, you're building a program, making sure that nationally we're known for taking care of the artist, I think that just helps us bring in bigger and better talent. Word gets around. Oh, the Vine, the staff there is really, really friendly. The system is good, and you're just going to have a great day there. A lot of artists, a lot of tour managers have come in and said how much they appreciate how well we work to make sure that the day goes smoothly.
That's great. And, I think people knew, a lot of my friends knew you were coming in, and they had asked me to ask you certain things. And as far as how people ask me all the time, how does Jason line up who comes in, and if you agree to come in based on the cost of coming in? Obviously, you have limited budgets. I'm assuming you can't give somebody anything they want. You have a certain degree of what you can spend. How does that all work? Maybe in a short sense, do you have certain people that look out, certain booking agents that look out for entertainment based on what you can handle there? How does that all work?
Absolutely. So you'll work with buying agents. My people call me all the time. Sometimes I go direct to book major talent, and anytime you book something, inherently there's a risk with that. I mean, you're trying to say, listen, do I think this person is going to go for this ticket price in this market at that time of year? And I guess that's the beauty of the job, is you never really know. But the more experience you get, and especially like you're saying, now that we're 2 years into it, I think we've got our finger on the pulse of what sells and what people are really looking for. Not to say that I'll ever always play it safe.
Sure.
I'll take the chances if I think something works really well for our venue and for if it's something that the people want to see.
And certainly, I know when you were first on my program, you talked about, I always kidded you because I used to share the same desk with Tiffany Collinsworth, who now, of course, is not working in your area anymore. She's taking care of her child. She did a wonderful job, by the way. And I always asked you, I was always curious because there was always a checklist on her desk and she was going through to make sure that certain beverages were brought in, certain foods were there.
Right.
Tell our audience a little bit about, that's normal for every group to have certain requests of eating and beverages, etc. But I think you pointed out, and maybe you could share that with our audience, there's been some requests that you probably have a hard time. Is there ever a hard time getting certain things for certain people?
Yeah, so what you're referring to are the hospitality rider requests.
Okay.
Every contract and every act has rider requests. Just some items that make them feel at home. Mm-hmm. Now, every once in a while, some of those artists will put something in there that's outlandish, and when I advance with the tour manager, I'll just say, "Hey, listen, we just don't have those items." Mm-hmm. But those are few and far between, and the reason for that is, maybe it's the artist or maybe it's the tour manager testing to make sure the venue is reading, because they know if you see that, hey, listen, can we just do 1,000 brown M&Ms, then they know that you probably have the rest of the gear and you've looked over it. I always get asked, or I think there's an idea of what my job is. I'm not just hanging out, backstage with the artist. Right. Really what it comes down to, there's a lot of reading involved, a lot of paying attention to details, and just making sure that the day is going to go off smoothly. So but when you're referring to those strange requests, that's the rider, and that's and every band will have that.
And I think a lot of people have asked me too. They notice that a lot of the entertainers that come into Del Lago under your auspices, under your control and your team's control, you have them stay off site at the Gould. A lot of people are staying at the Gould, correct? Is that something you do a lot or often?
It's not necessarily the Gould, but I mean it can be any number of hotels.
Okay.
But yeah,
is that a way to get them away from the site, just to relax?
No, not necessarily. Just see, we've got a limited amount of rooms,
right?
And I think from an experience level for our guests that are going to stay, I want to make sure that they're all taken care of. And the artist, for the most part, understands that as well. So when you have a large theater and only so many hotel rooms, you kind of have to move things around. So it's not necessarily the Gould. It's sometimes I've had artists stay in Syracuse or Rochester. Or just anywhere, but it's not always one place.
That's interesting. And Jason Klug is my guest today. We're talking about the Vine showroom, of course, something that he got involved heavily in getting set up way back when it was nothing but a mud pile. I tell the story when Jimmy Wilmot and Jeff Babinski, our former general manager, executive vice president of the casino, took me and my wife Mary on a tour, and it was just mud laden. They had certain rails down where this was going to be and this was going to be. And I always recall when I first met Jason, I said, I remember me and Mary saw where you were going to be, but it was only mud, and it was just sloped down. It's a beautiful, beautiful place to have an entertainment. There's not a bad seat in the house, as you know. It's a great place. And now it's in the history making, and we are performing. And let's talk about some of the acts. Here it is, the 19th of November. Talk about what you got coming up in the next few weeks.
So in the next few weeks, we're going into the Christmas season. We have Nelson's Christmas. The Nelsons were, made some waves a number of years ago. But that show in particular is of interest to me, and I hope of interest of the people around the area. It tells a story of three families during Christmas musically. And so it's a multimedia type of show, so I think people who see that really brings the Christmas season to start here, because I don't know about you. I mean, everyone. Sometimes people get Christmas started very, very early. And, I like to have my Thanksgiving, so we look to start Christmas, right in December, right after.
And so do we. Me and my wife do. Our family. right after Thanksgiving, we bring the tree and get starting going and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Nelsons are coming in on December 2nd. December 7th, we'll see Winona Judd and the Big Noise. And that's just going to be a fantastic show. She hasn't been in the area in a long time, and I think you'd be remiss not to get tickets for that. And the Tenors are going to be here, I believe, on December 21st. So that's another Christmas special that I think people will really, really enjoy.
Well, you look at the entertainment, and I've seen you walk the crowd when I've been in there with Mary at a concert, and your goal, obviously, is to make everything as comfortable and as, well managed that you and your team do, and it seems like it goes off without a hitch. Again, the seating is phenomenal. You're not really stretching to see the stage. You have it set up so that it's easily visible, whether you're upstairs or whether you're, in our sections, and it was just fantastic. So I think I asked you this when you were first on my program. The thinking of 2,300 to 2,500 seats, I guess, is it between that number and 2,500 capacity there in that area?
So when they figure a capacity of a room, they usually figure that without the seats in there. But once you put a seat in there, you have to assume that seat is taking up more than someone standing.
Gotcha.
So usually, I think per IBC code, it's 1.5 people for every seat.
Oh, really?
That you normally fit in there. So,
but I asked you about when you first got involved coming to Del Lago and doing what you're doing, overseeing as the director of entertainment, your thought process of having a 15 or 20,000 seat arena when we first opened, before we opened, and maybe
or 20,000 or 2,000
or 20,000, 15, a bigger complex.
Oh, a large complex.
When we built the casino,
like a huge, something along the lines of like CMAC or something. Oh,
and I asked you that, and you said you were comfortable the way it is now because of the fact that you have a much better viewing site and you to better entertain with people sitting there.
Right. So all different venues offer their own benefits and negatives. And I think for me, the best place to see a show is always a theater or in something indoors in a controlled environment. Once you start getting outside, and
you never know what the weather's going to be like.
I've done that for a long time in my career. Been outside and have had to be in the rain, and
I know.
That's one thing that you always worry about. At least with indoor, you can kind of control that a little bit more. But also, I think it just offers the best of both worlds. It's not necessarily as intimate as like a bar or something small, but it's not as far away if, let's say, like the Carrier Dome, or Lakeview Amphitheater. So you have something that kind of sits right in between, and when there's all good seats, not a bad seat in the house, as they say, I think the experience can be so much more than you would normally get. So I've always tried to bring in acts that, for the most part, normally wouldn't play that side of the theater. They call it, an underplay. And for the most part, I think people agree that it's a great place to see a show.
Oh, it is,
and a great number of seats to have in a showroom as well.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. And if you've never been out there to Divine Showroom and you've never bought a ticket to go to the show, there are actually some free shows during the week as well. They have sometimes on Monday and a Wednesday. I know sometimes they offer that. So keep an eye on our website, Del Lago. Look under Entertainment if you see it. And it's a freebie, and you're allowed to come in. Make sure you're 21. We want to emphasize that because myself and Jason live on that doctrine that we have to be 21 to get inside the casino. And we keep hammering that away because you'd be surprised how many people, I work part-time at promotions, that the mothers and fathers keep asking me, you think you'll ever lower that age? I don't see that happening, but maybe I think it's going to be 21.
Yeah, that it will be.
And the reason, obviously, folks, and I think Jason would give the same explanation I'm trying to tell you, is that if you sat and ate at the Social is fine because that you can eat with your kids in there at the hotel entrance. But if you're eating at the farmer's market or at Portico or at the food court, you're close by to the machines, et cetera, et cetera. You can reach out and touch them pretty close.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
so.
I think it's beneficial not to have under a certain age exposed to something when I tend to think that our players are all responsible gamers, and if you're younger than that, then we can wait.
Listen, before we take our commercial break, Jason Klug's been nice enough to spend some time out, the Director of Entertainment at Del Lago. This is his second trip into the Weber Show. We appreciate him spending some time with us as we approach Thanksgiving. Before we break our break, let's give some love to your team. We love having you in, but I know behind every successful manager is great employees that work with you, and give some love to some of the people you want to point out to.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many people. I mean, just beyond my staff, all the other departments. But one big shout out, Caitlin Peck has always helped us out a tremendous amount with making sure the contracts and everything gets done behind the scenes. I have a new staff member that took over for the big shoes to fill by Tiffany Collinsworth, and that's Brendan Berriger. My sound guy has always been, Mike Richards and Anthony Fiamara as the lighting director.
And they're awesome.
So they are absolutely amazing. Small team. Pam Ferrara,
good friend
in the box office, right? And the team that she's put together. I mean, it's just amazing how well oiled of a machine it actually is now. Everyone kind of understands what we were trying to accomplish, and I just can't say enough about them. Is that everyone really gets their job done, and we're always pushing to maintain that great experience for our guests every single time. So I have to say I can't leave out the bar staff and everyone and the security that's there. I mean, these are all important parts. The ushers that work there, making sure, they know where every seat is. I sometimes feel, even though I've set everything up, they know it better than I do, and that's exactly where I want to be with a team.
That's great. Well, Jason Klug's going to continue to dialogue. We'll talk about some more upcoming shows down the road as he's got some additional dates I'm sure he can talk with us about. This is Weber This Week on a Monday, the 19th of November. It's good to have you all alongside. Let's take our commercial break, play some homage to our great sponsors and make this show possible. Lago Resort and Casino has something for everyone. 2,000 slot machines and 99 gaming tables. The Vine, featuring top national music and comedy acts. The dining options. The Great Portico by Fabio Viviani. The Farmers Market Buffet, the Social Cafe and Bar. And the 14,000 square foot European-style spa. Del Lago offers massages, body treatments, and facials, plus a full-service salon. Visit DelLagoResort.com for more information.
Cayuga Lake National Bank, offices in Union Springs and Aurora, a fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor on Bridge Street in Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her team will find the right spirit for you every time. When you stop in, tell Amy the dog sent you. The Omen Theater on William Street in Lyons. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Located off New York State Thruway Exit 41, the McGee Diner has earned their reputation as a popular family restaurant, serving country fresh home-cooked meals daily. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and check out their menu at mcgeediner.com. The Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes is a child-friendly location where allegations of physical or sexual abuse are responded to by a multidisciplinary team of professionals. The team works together to conduct a thorough investigation and to provide necessary support services to children and their non-offending caregivers with a goal of minimizing further trauma to a child. Seneca Metals is an award-winning company that has earned a reputation of going above and beyond to protect the environment and support their community. As an EPA inspector once said, their operation is head and shoulders above the rest. And the Newark Pilots of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. Season ticket packages available at NewarkPilots.com. And the Wilson Press in Seneca Falls. My good pal Rich Rickey and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Visit them online at wpress.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Dog with you on a Monday, the 19th, along with my buddy Jason Klug, who is the Director of Entertainment at Del Lago. Nice enough to spend some time with us today. He's been on before, and this is his second visit. By the way, I have seen your work as a guitar player and a singer. I've seen you on YouTube. One of our colleagues at Del Lago says we need to have you bring a guitar in the next time and maybe sing a song.
Oh, I did see that. I did
know.
See that.
This guy's got talent, man. He not only sets up the shows, he's obviously part of the show. You work with you have actually a band that are you still doing things together in the summer? You kind of broke up, or you kind of?
Yeah, I think at
I saw some of the stuff you were with the group that you were involved in that for quite a while, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say.
I think when you get to a certain point,
yep.
Musically, and you say, listen, I just really want to have some fun. You
can
go around, play a few gigs
sure.
every now and then.
Right.
Nothing too serious. And then,
yep.
Once something like this comes along, you want to dedicate all your focus to that. I think that's really where I'm at.
That's good. Because I have seen you on. You guys got some talent, so that's good.
Thank you very much.
Hey, by the way, before we get back to Jason about New Year's Eve and some upcoming events, it's hard to believe we're 21 after already. As far as additional guests coming on, I want to run that so I don't miss it before I go off the air today. Yes, we're trying to get Mark Giuliano on, our Executive Vice President, General Manager, new man taking over the casino. I've seen him in the hallway. We talked about coming on. He's got a very hectic schedule, as you can appreciate. And my friend Caitlin Peck is working hard to get him on. We're working on that as soon as we get a date. And I even said we would allow him to give us a date that he can make, and we'll try to work this show around him. So we are trying to get him on, and he has told me he wants to come on. It's just a matter of getting it lined up. In addition, just so you know, next week's going to be kind of a funny show. A good friend of mine, Emil Bovey, an attorney in town. There's a big controversy, as you all probably know, about the Huntington building on the corner of Fall Street, the Veterans Bridge, and Rumsey Street. Whether that is historical, we know it's historical, whether it should stand up or be torn down. And Circle K in town has made a big offer to take over that property. A lot of legal stuff going back and forth. I am of the belief that it should come down and allow Circle K. Emil Bovey's obviously, his wife's on the commission, by the way, the Historical Commission. He believes it should stand. It's a brick building. It's a huge building, too. That debate will take place next week, so we'll have some fun with that. Emil will be on one side of it, and I'll be on the other side, so you won't want to miss that show next week. And then on December 3rd, we have a young man coming in, Mike Wood. Yes, he's Woody's, one of Woody's sons. He just got promoted as the coach of the good old Watertown Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. He's gotten the job as the head man now, so he'll be joining the Weber Show on the 3rd. And then on the 10th, we're out that far. On December 10th, we bring in Mitch Rowe, who is the interim county manager for the Seneca County Board of Supervisors. He's back doing what he used to do. He's back in overseeing that operation. He'll be my guest on the 10th of December. And that's about as far as we've gone, and we'll probably book one more show, and then we'll take the next couple of Mondays off because it's the holidays. Jason, we talked about during the break about New Year's Eve. We didn't want to forget about that's going to be a spectacular occasion with our casino, and obviously another spectacular occasion is going to be the second-year anniversary.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
So talk about New Year's Eve. We're going to have a lot going on, I'm sure.
So New Year's, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if you recall, last year we had a ton of entertainment. Right. And I think this year, what I really wanted to achieve was, when I looked at it, I thought, what do people want to do during New Year's Eve? And it's a time to meet with friends, and I think the entertainment can kind of be in the background a little bit. So with that said, I've got a band called Classified. They're going to be in the showroom, rock you into the new year. But that will be a general show. Just go in if you want to do that. You can be out on the floor. We'll have a DJ. We'll have musicians around the whole building. So there'll be lots going on for you to partake of, but I guess a more relaxed feel.
Right.
So everyone can really enjoy themselves, catch up with friends, ring in the new year in style.
And there'll be balloons coming down at midnight.
There'll be balloons coming down, and we have a Carnival theme this year. And we've got. Nice. And it's, that whole month of December and even New Year's, we've got a number of great programs going on. I mean, we've got the Snowmen of Cash every Saturday in December, 150K Snowmen of Cash. And New Year's Eve exclusively, that promotion that we're giving away free play for a year.
I saw that, yeah.
So I mean, some really cool things, not just on the entertainment side, but the promotion side. So really need to get on down to Del Lago for New Year's. I think that's going to be an exciting night.
Yeah.
Not soon forgotten.
I think, you're right. And again, being a part-time employee out there in promotions, which is a pretty hot and heavy area, and I know Jason walks by and we usually have a good line lined
You guys stay busy.
They keep coming up, which is great.
I think you guys are busier than I am.
Well, no, but it's fun, and we have a great team out there. And I got to tell you, working with Gerald Smith and Jessica, one of our new managers, Jessica Rome, and Chris, we got tons of people out there working. It's just fun to be out there, and I really appreciate the fact that you come up to promotions, and I love these people that come up and get nervous because they want a reprint of their card because they lost it. I say, hey, folks, that's what we're here for, We'll pinch off 20 cards a week. We don't care. We'll just keep printing them off. You need them, we'll give one. But come up, and we'll give you everything you're entitled to get, and we'll try to make your stay as comfortable as it is with Del Lago, and we realize... And I love getting new members because that's the key, as you know, Jason. It's the key when they come up and say, "Hey, I've never been here before." We kind of love to hear that because even though we're moving into our second year, when you come up to Del Lago and say to me or one of our team at the promotions desk that you've never been here, it makes us an opportunity to make an alliance with them, and it works out well.
Absolutely,
make them feel good. If they have a good time.
I like what you said there.
Yeah.
It's a real opportunity to treat that guest
right.
the way we think they should be treated.
And that's right. We can't give you a Mercedes when you come in, but we can help you out and make you having fun here. And, playing slots or playing card games, it's a matter of gambling. It's a matter of luck. Some days you get cards, some days you don't. Some days you hit a jackpot on a slot machine, some days you don't. But just have fun and enjoy it. So, as we're winding down in time, I think, you've covered a lot of bases, and I think... You're not the kind of guy that likes to take a lot of credit, but having known you since I met you when we first started working together upstairs when I was doing the buses with Jimmy, you have to say that leadership makes a difference, and you've always been kind of low-key in the way you translate and get things done, but you seem to get it done, and you do it in a professional manner, and you always surround yourself with the best talent you can get your hands on, and that's a tribute to you because obviously you made the selections of those people.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But, it really comes down to, I think, choosing a good team and allowing them to do what they're good at. Maybe at the beginning I micromanaged a little bit more, but right now, and I'll say, well-oiled machine every chance I get. But the team really, really works well together. And, I'm just the one who put it together at this point. So.
And by the way, we got him. Let's keep him here a couple more minutes. I should point out the fact that if you're watching the show today and you have an interest in an act or a group and it's not on his ledger, there's nothing says you can't send him a note or, send him a message on or get through Del Lago and leave it with his office. A certain act or certain, he never knows. You may look it up and be able to do it for him. You never know, right? Something, you get recommendations from all kinds of people.
Yeah,
right?
And I get recommendations and what people want to see constantly.
Sure.
And obviously, I'm not able to get everything in there, but what that says to me is that people are interested.
Exactly.
Sometimes they'll say, "Hey, I didn't like this act," or "I really liked this act." And just the fact that they're involved says that we're doing something right, and they're invested in what we're doing, and they like the property, they like the showroom, the theater, as it were. So I always welcome those comments. I can't always do something about it, but
I know.
But it's always good to hear.
Yeah, I know. I think not because we're colleagues at the Del Lago, is the fact that you do the best you can, and we all try our best in whatever capacity we're in charge of doing or helping out.
I think we're doing a spectacular job.
I do too. I think, overall I'm really impressed with the way our casino is run, and I'm looking forward to getting Mark on here to talk about what his vision is or what his reaction is. I still love Mark Giuliana. I've taught him a few times, but I love the fact that the second or third day he was with us, he came in and reminded me of Undercover Boss. He had the jeans on and the hat on, and you didn't know who he was, but I did, and it was kind of funny because I think he was scoping out to see what everybody was trying to do here. Right. So it's pretty class. Well, listen, my friend, I appreciate you carving out 30 minutes of your time. I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you coming in, and
always happy to be here.
The best to you and the family. And
thank you so much.
I know that'll keep you excited and keep you rolling, and to you and your family, please enjoy your holidays, and happy holidays to all of you.
As to you.
Thank you
so much.
All right. Jason Klug, folks, a reminder, next week we got a funny show coming up, the debate. Should Huntington Building be torn down or should it stand? I take the position it should go down. Emil Bovey says, nope, it's historical, it should stand up. Can't wait for that show. I'll be getting psyched for that one already. So speaking for Jason Klug, along with our great producer today, Zach, on the keyboard, did a great job, Zach. Take care, everybody. Zach. All right, Zach. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, from the Weber and the Klug family. Take care, everybody.